Hi, Taurus. Today we're going to look at July 24th, 2025, and that's the new moon in Leo. We're going to look at Taurus, sun, moon, and rising with specific messages for each. We'll look at numerology, astrology, and the tarot cards, and we'll end the reading with advice for your sign. And in the description box below, I'll have links for meditations for each of these tarot cards I drew for you today. And if you feel seen today, subscribe. And stay tuned for your next moon reading. Tell me what messages hit home for you today, and let's talk about it in the comments. I love my subscribers, and I'm always interested in what you have to say. So we're going to start with numerology, and the number for that day is 22, and 22 is the master builder, the master number. It represents powerful potential, long-term vision, and the ability to turn dreams into reality through grounded effort. For Taurus, this number encourages you to take tangible steps towards building something meaningful and long-lasting, whether in your finances, relationships, or spiritual path. So you might feel pulled to organize your finances, start a new side hustle, or reevaluate your 5-year plan. Maybe you finally open that savings account you've been putting off, or decide to invest in a course that supports your career goals. The key is building something that lasts. I know you like that, Taurus. So in astrology, the new moon activates your 4th house of home, family, and emotional foundations. Leo's fire adds boldness, creativity, and self-expression to your inner world. So we're going to start with the sun and the moon together because new moon. And your new moon is in, or your sun and your moon is in Leo, 4th house. So that's going to talk about home, roots, and inner security. So a powerful time to initiate change or fresh energy in your domestic life, in your family relationships, or emotional well-being. So you might start redecorating your home or have a heart-to-heart with a family member. This new moon encourages you to take control of your emotional comfort zone. Now, Mercury. Mercury is in Cancer, your 3rd house. And that's going to talk about communication, siblings, and short-term plans. So deep emotional conversations are likely. You're more sensitive to tone and underlying meaning. You may reconnect with a sibling or a friend to discuss something heartfelt, or start journaling more honestly about your feelings. Venus. Venus is in Leo. That's your 4th house. That's going to talk about love in the home. So passion and beauty and pleasure are emphasized in your domestic sphere. You might splurge on something gorgeous for your home or plan a romantic dinner in. You're craving beauty and affection in your space. So hot date night. So Mars is in Gemini. That's your 2nd house. So that's going to talk about money and self-worth and possessions. So action-oriented thinking around finances and self-esteem. So you could feel the urge to budget more consciously, or pitch a project, or advocate for your value at work. Mars adds drive, but Gemini adds a mental hustle. Let's talk about the tarot cards. So we're starting off with this beautiful card, which is the 10 of Pentacles. This talks about legacy and stability and long-term wealth. So this card is about lasting success, family legacy, and the satisfaction that comes from security. Everything you love, Taurus. You're focused on what you're building, not just for yourself, but for the people you care about. So you might be talking about buying property, starting a family business, or investing in something long-term. Maybe you're working on estate planning or supporting aging parents. So here's your advice. Embrace the big picture view. The small step you take today support the legacy you're leaving behind. But then we got Temperance, and it's reversed. So a reverse temperance talks about imbalance or impatience or overdoing it. So when reversed, temperance warns of extremes, working too hard, avoiding rest, or trying to force a situation to unfold faster than it should. So you might be overworking and under-resting. Maybe you're skipping meals, canceling breaks, or letting your boundaries slide to please others. Or perhaps you're bouncing between extremes. Too much productivity, then total burnout. So here's your advice. Slow down. Even as you build your future, make space to recalibrate your energy. Find the middle ground between hustle and flow. And then we got the Three of Wands. Woo, hi, camera. Three of Wands reversed. And a Three of Wands reversed talks about delays and disappointment and lack of vision. So this card suggests setbacks or second-guessing your path. You may feel like your efforts aren't paying off or that you're waiting for something that's not coming. So perhaps a business launch is taking longer than expected, or you're questioning whether a move or a partnership is still aligned. You might feel stuck in the planning stage, unsure whether to move forward. Here's your advice. Revisit your long-term vision. Sometimes delays are redirections. This card asks you to refine your plan, not abandon it. Okay? So, how does this day affect Taurus Sun, Moon, and Rising? So, Taurus Sun. You're craving comfort, stability, and clarity on your long-term plans. But emotional or energetic burnout may have you feeling out of sync. So you might be holding the fort down at work or at home, but haven't asked for support. Today reminds you that you can pause and rest without losing ground. Taurus Moon. Your inner world is tender today. You may feel conflicted between what's familiar and what's calling you into new growth. So you want to stay where you're safe, but you also feel a restless pull to expand or move on, maybe in a relationship or in a career. Honor both emotions, but don't ignore the call to evolve. Taurus Rising. People are looking at you for grounded energy, but you might feel like you're barely holding it together. So friends and family are leaning on you for stability. But behind the scenes, you're navigating uncertainty. Don't be afraid to be honest about how and what you need to. Okay? Communication. Okay, summary. What this day means to you, Taurus. On July 24th, 2025, it's a day of restructuring your inner foundation. The astrology points to emotional growth and new roots in your home life, while the tarot encourages long-term vision, balance, and revisiting your path with fresh eyes. So the Ten of Pentacles urges you to focus on your legacy and the big picture goals. Temperance reverse warns against burnout and imbalance, and the Three of Wands reverse asks you to refine your strategy and stay open to course correction. Here's your real life takeaway. Build something meaningful. Start small, but keep the long-term vision. Rest isn't a luxury. It is a necessity. Delays aren't denials. Use them to refine your path. So here's the advice for Taurus on this day. Stay grounded, but flexible. Focus on your future, but make sure you're not burning out in the process. Reframe obstacles as opportunities to slow down and strategize better. You're building something lasting. Trust the pace, even if it's slower than you'd like. Thank you, Taurus, and I hope to see you in another reading. So you might plunge, no, not doing that. Too much product. To recalibrate your in. Even as, okay, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get this. So here's your advice. Displays? No, not displays.